They just can't seem to interest women of color into being in their anti-trans movement.
Jeffrey, for someone whose entire reality is based on ridiculous fantasies, you really have a narrow scope of imagination. You know one thing about stupidity? It doesn't know how to shut up. Always the loudest entity in the room, freakishly taking delight in the sound of its own voice. And I've never seen a more perfect personification of stupidity than Jeffrey Marsh. I mean, seriously, this would just be insults and joke if it is not outright disturbing and terrifyingly dangerous. I mean, I've made videos about this guy before, but this nutcase will not stop talking. He's just eager to tell everything that has breath that he's neither a boy or a girl. And we get it. Every normal thinking adult is like, Jeffrey, we agree with you. You are obviously not a boy or a girl. I mean, look at your 5 o'clock shadow. It is obvious. You are a troubled grown man with makeup who is probably off his medication. It is clear. I mean, this fool spent the entirety of his life thinking about himself, right? Yet he lacks so much self-awareness to see what he has become and why he shouldn't be allowed anywhere near children. According to his incredibly low mental capacity, why should you call him a groomer when you are the same parent that teach your children that God is constantly watching them?
Teaching children that God is constantly watching them and judging them so they have a lifetime of anxiety, that's grooming. And I keep wondering, who is the real danger to children?
Jeffrey boy, Jeffrey. I know people in your alphabet community have a long-distance relationship with understanding words and what they mean. But my friend, you are the textbook definition of a groomer. I mean, you are a fully grown man, not just wearing female clothes. I mean, you can wear whatever you want, but you are wearing sexual female clothes that exposes your thighs, and then you are talking directly to children on a daily basis. Brother, the definition of groomer should just have your picture on it.
I want to talk to the kids. Parents watch the video and then hand the phone over to the young kids.
You are sexualizing kids at a young age, all in the name of making them more accepting of your traumatic life choices. That's not the same as training children according to the tenet of a religion. They are not the same at all. And I know you claim to have been through so much childhood trauma. I'm guessing that you've had more traumatic events in your life than a soldier who watched their friend die in Afghanistan.
Childhood trauma. And childhood trauma. Childhood trauma. Childhood trauma. And my childhood trauma.
But that doesn't give you the right at all. It doesn't give you the right to ruin the lives of innocent children. Other people's children, for that matter. I mean, you say you don't have kids. You hate kids. You probably find them annoying.
I don't want children.
Yet in your virtual reality, you constantly direct and channel your message to these kids. You want to make the world a better place, starting with someone else's child. Are you all right? Well, clearly not. But do you know the pain of being a parent and all the sacrifices that come with it? Do you know the difficult choices parents constantly have to make for the well-being of their children? The sleepless nights, the constant anxiety children can bring? Your selfish, crazy makeup wearing behind can never comprehend these harsh realities. You don't even want it, but you want to make it even harder for parents by sexualizing their children, right? But that's not the biggest revelation from Jeffrey. I mean, his latest epiphany is the ridiculous realization that there is no person of color among the trans exclusionary radical feminists.
TERFs have a major problem. This would be J.K. Rowling and her friends.
Trans women are men!
They are almost all white women. They just can't seem to interest women of color into being in their anti-trans movement. I think this is for several reasons, probably the most of which is if a woman experiences misogyny and then also racism, Islamophobia, xenophobia, other things, she is not inclined to bully a marginalized group, trans people. But we also have to be careful that they keep talking about, JK will say, I'm just saving women. I'm protecting women and children. No, you're a flat out bigot, and we can see through you.
Jeffrey, for someone whose entire reality is based on ridiculous fantasies, you really have a narrow scope of imagination, and it comes as no surprise. But have you heard of Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie? I know you haven't. She's a famous Nigerian author, and I will let her respond to your claim that no person of color is a tough.
So when people talk about, are trans women, my feeling is trans women are trans women. And I think if you've lived in the world as a man, with the privileges that the world accords to men, and then sort of switch gender, it's difficult for me to accept that then we can equate your experience with the experience of a woman who has lived from the beginning in the world as a woman and who has not been accorded those privileges that men are. I don't think it's a good thing to conflate everything into one. I don't think it's a good thing to talk about women's issues being exactly the same as the issues of trans women.
So Jeffrey, there goes a famous feminist in Africa, who is also a person of color, clearly. And by your definition, isn't she a tough? Is she still a bigot who is upholding the patriarchy? Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, upholding the patriarchy. And I know you can't fully grasp objective reality, but it doesn't change the fact that you and your friends are doing things that are harmful and hurting actual women. And I don't know how any sensible feminist will see what these men are doing, dominating spaces created specifically for females, and not feel threatened. Is it until every female athletic team in the world only has trans women as team members? Is it until that happens? Was the problem all along the fact that we men didn't wear makeup and dresses? Was that the problem? Was that the problem of the patriarchy? But here is a keen observation, Jeffrey, and I want you to try and consider it carefully, right? How come most of the activists in the trans community are biological men? How come only trans women want to compete in female sports? Why are the brands that market to women using trans women as models? Why isn't it the other way around? Why are those being harmed by this ideology and those who did transition and have regret? Why are most of those people women? But most champions of this trans movement are biological men. Why is that the case? Do you not see how that is a threat to that is an actual threat to biological women? If you really, really, really care about women, then stop snatching opportunities away from them, especially opportunities that rightfully belong to them. And if you really, really care about children, then allow them to be children. Back the hell off of other people's children, you creep. Stop feeding them this crazy ideology that you don't even understand. Stop it.
You're a creep. Get away from me.
The only thing you care about is yourself. You can't see beyond your instant gratification and realize the harm you are causing other people. You can't do that. And sadly, we live in a society that wants to alter itself so people like Jeffrey can feel good about themselves, sacrificing the good of the collective over an insignificant minority. And I guess that's what it means to not be a bigot, right?
In our country, you can shoot and kill a nigga, but you better not hurt a gay person's feelings.
And that's why Jeffrey's self-identification supersedes everything else in the world. That's why your children need to see his ties. And that's why actual women need to stop talking. They need to keep quiet, right? Because it's all about Jeffrey, and Jeffrey. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell. And also let me know what you think about Jeffrey Marsh in the comment section. And until the next video, peace.